Hi, welcome back to the Live More with Rae show. We are truly glad to have you here this evening with us. So tonight we wanted to start a new area of our whole life thought. Have you ever been in a relationship when you didn't know what you were doing there? You didn't know how to respond? Have you ever been in a family setting where you don't know your family, you don't know who's around you? I think it's important that we begin to start talking about other areas in the Live More with Rae show. And one of the areas I'd like to talk about tonight is relationships. How we relate to one another and how people relate to us is really predetermined on how we love ourselves and how we take care of ourselves. So tonight, as we begin to venture into the idea of relationships, I want you to sit back and maybe grapple over the things that you demand in a relationship. May it be friend to friend, parent to child, or parent to parent, or boyfriend to girlfriend, or instructor to student. What is it that we look for in relationships? And what are the basic principles of relationship? Now, I know you think, what is she talking about? Why is she talking about this? But it is really important that we begin to start realizing that if we don't believe in ourselves and we don't take care of ourselves and we don't love ourselves, we send that piece of energy, so to speak, out. And that's how people begin to be attracted to us. That's how people begin to treat us. And we actually teach people how to treat us. So tonight, let's talk about relationships. What is the important component to a relationship? Well, I think the definition or the constructs of a definition of a relationship is the effectiveness and productivity of any type of interaction that you're having with someone. How are you being affected by that person? Or how is that person being affected by you? What are you looking for? When you meet someone, what are you actually looking for? Are you looking for companionship? Are you looking for love? Are you looking for dialogue? What are you looking for? So a lot of times, we go through life and we have relationships and they begin and they end, and then there's a middle and there's a start, and there, all kinds of things are in our heads. And then if you're in a relationship, let's say for instance, man to woman, the last relationship that you left, then you didn't do the proper things that you needed to do, so you left that open, so someone else comes in, and they call that not the side chick or the side guy, but they call that the rebound person, right? So you have to understand that in relationships, we try to work out ourselves, and what we try to do is if we don't know ourselves, then it's very hard to be in a relationship with someone else because we have a level of expectation. What are you expecting from a relationship? What are the ground rules to relationship? So let's start. What do you think a relationship is? How are you going to respond to someone that goes beyond the hi, how are you doing piece? Well, this last weekend was very, very exciting for me. And the reason why I said it was exciting is because all kinds of relationships started to manifest in my life. I ran into, I met my niece that I hadn't seen in 14 years. I have great people that work with me in ministry, how I relate to them. I have sons. I have my son's girlfriend, and I met someone that is a nice person to me, meaning a guy. So what am I looking for in a relationship? Well, I think relationship is very key, especially when you communicate. What are you communicating about? Are you in that person's life to help them, support them, encourage them, empower them? Or are you there to take? So you can feel that energy pull. If you're with someone and every time they come around, you're like, oh my goodness, or every time you mention their name, oh my God, that's not good energy. Or are you someone that's in a relationship with, let's say, for instance, a woman, and you have low self-esteem, and you're looking for that person to pump you up and to keep you going? Or are you that person that is confident, walks into a relationship, and you start to live and you start to express what your expectations are, what you're looking for? You know, a lot of times, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, anyone sitting on the couch listening, a lot of times we surrender our expectations because of lack of something. I'm here to tell you, and I believe this wholeheartedly, if you stop looking, they'll find you. So, in a relationship to be effective, you need what? You need trust. You need to be able to know that this person doesn't have an agenda to destroy or to hurt you. You need to have trust in that, you feel stuff. So when I'm talking to someone and I feel kind of closed and guarded and sides, then that's not the right person to be talking to. That's not the right person to be relating to. Or if you feel open and you feel like you can talk forever and, you wake up wanting to speak to that person and you go to bed wanting to speak to that person, that's a feel-good piece of relationship. And that's effective because every time you are in a conversation or you're around someone, you should feel something should be produced from that time. Don't be with time wasters or dream busters, as I call them, someone that's not able to celebrate you. I heard someone say one time, I think it was Mike Murdoch, don't stay in a situation where someone isn't going to celebrate you. If you are not celebrated, get the heck out. And a lot of times, we sit in relationships and we don't enjoy them. We're just there because that's what we know. But we're getting ready, seasons are getting ready to change. And I like this time of year. And with this time of year, spring is coming and there's so many great outdoor things to do and you're hanging out with your girlfriends. And even with girlfriends, you have to have a productive time together. Nothing worse than being with a bunch of girls and they're always talking about, oh, you think you're cute. Oh, you're always you have to do this. Oh, those are the wrong girls to be with because they are haters. So let's talk about relationships some more. So you have a level of trust. Can I trust you with my stuff? Now, listen to me. Don't go telling all your stuff to someone that you just met and expect them to keep your secrets. You have to build a relationship. You have to build. We don't want to take time to build. We live in a society where people are just meeting today, in the bed tonight. That's not a relationship. You can't keep a man going to bed with him right away. Just because you have a beautiful body, men want more than body. And brothers, sisters, women want more than body as well. We need to have relational expectations. We need to be able to, just talk to somebody, have a conversation. How was your day? What's your life? What were you born to do? What are your talents? What are your gifts? We don't sit down. What's your favorite color? You get 2 months down the road and I don't like green. Didn't I tell you that? I'm like, no. We have to build a relationship. I know it sounds like I'm just going on and on and on, but it's important that we realize that life is so short and we were created to have relationship with people. We weren't created to be individuals and be by ourselves. We were created to be with one another. So my heart tonight is that we begin to start building on the relationships that we have. Now, it's not easy. I am a parent as well as I am a daughter. And let me just tell you, relating to my kids sometimes, I feel like they're foreigners. Not that I'm the foreigner, but they're the foreigner. Meaning, how do you talk to your kids nowadays? Kids of this millennium, they don't sit down and have long conversations with you like my mom would have or did. They want to text you. So if that's the way that you're communicating, if that's the way your children are communicating with you, then learn to communicate on their terms. Hey, text them, good morning. Even if they're in the next room. No, I'm only kidding. That's the worst thing, to be in the house and everyone texting each other and they're in the next room. But what I mean is learn someone's language of communication. And trust. Can I trust you not to hurt me? Now that's big. That's big because all of us have been hurt sometime or another. And you know what? It's not the next guy's fault or the next girl's fault that you got hurt in the last relationship. You need to understand that it is okay that you got hurt, meaning get healed before you go on to the next relationship. Nothing worse than being in a relationship, getting out of one frying pan and jumping into the next frying pan. Give yourself some time. Find out what you want in life. You can't get in a relationship and expect somebody to tell you who you are. You can't get in a relationship and say, tell me I'm a princess. You got to be a princess before you get there. Hello, somebody. People, I don't know, maybe I'm old-fashioned. Call me old-fashioned if you want to. But in a relationship, you have to be a certain, you have to not be a certain type of person, but you have to be certain about yourself. You have to be okay with who you are. If you get in a relationship and the person doesn't like fat people and you're fat, then that's not a good relationship because then it becomes abusive. They're always talking about how fat you are. No. Then if you want to work on it, then say, listen, I know my weight is an issue, but are you willing to help me lose weight? Are you willing to help me get my skin together? Are you willing to help me get my career together? Because you know what? You'll realize when you're in a relationship, that person may have something a little bit more than what you have, and you may have a little bit more than what they have, and the two come together and they learn one another and they help one another. Get out of the relationship that isn't helping you or celebrating you. Let's talk about trust again. That is big, and I said that earlier, but when you don't trust someone or you're not trusted, it is very hard to rebuild that. That is the foundational piece of a relationship. So how do you build trust? Let's say, number one, how do you build trust? Well, you start talking and communicating honestly. Listen, I look great, but this is what's going on. I think this should be different, but I don't know how to do it different. I like you, but there's just certain things. So you have to be honest. Honest communication, not having an alternative in your agenda, not having a secret, hidden secrets. And I don't mean divulging everything on the first go-round, but I mean just being able to be honest. There is no perfect person. Did I say that? There is no perfect person. We all have stuff, and we all have stuff in our closets, but at the same token, we all are able to talk to one another and get the help that we need. Number two, you have to respect the person's time. Don't be a time waster. I'm not saying you always have to be doing something, blah, 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 but you have to be able to use your time wisely. What the heck is the sense of staying on the phone for 6 hours and you can't fill out a job application? Well, if you're going to stay on the phone for 6 hours, say, hey, can you help me fill out this job application while we're on the phone? It's a part of encouragement, a part of empowerment. Empower your friend. Empower your girlfriend. Empower your guy friend. Empower your crew. Get rid of the girlfriends that are doing their own thing and they're not going anywhere because we're known by the company we keep. I didn't understand that years ago. My grandmother used to say, you're judged by the company you keep. What does that mean? I thought they were being judgmental. No. If you hang around with dogs, you're going to get fleas. So if you want to be flealess, don't hang around dogs. So, empowerment. How do you say something to someone to empower them? You're not critical all the time. You're not talking about how big their forehead is. You're not talking about how big their feet are. You're not talking about how fat they are. You're not talking about how skinny they are. They'll say, and you know what? This is how we do. They say, my hair is so messed up. A friend, oh, girl, your hair looks wonderful. Stop it. What we're putting out there is I need to hear from you some type of encouragement, some type of empowerment. I just feel so fat. Oh, you want to lose some weight? Let me help you. Are you a member of a gym? Oh, I'm so stupid. No, you're not. I don't hang around with stupid people. But we have to learn to encourage one another. And how about the friend that we need to have around us when we do things well? I just won the election in my class as student government. Girl, I'm so proud of you. Yay, let's party. You know, that kind of thing. Or the empowerment. Listen, you know what? Texting a girlfriend, hey, good morning, sunshine. Wake up. Today's a better day. Helping someone be empowered. Because every day isn't peachy creamy and rosy. Sometimes we just need that encouragement. Or you can meet someone for lunch and say, listen, I don't have a lot of money, but I'll treat you to some McDonald's or some French fries. You can encourage someone today. What else do we need in relationships? Let me think. What else would I like in a relationship? I would like to know that the person that I'm with is a ride or die. Now, I didn't always like that term because I was like, ride or die? The only person I know that's going to die for me is Jesus Christ, and he did that already. So hold it a minute. What do you mean be a ride or die? A ride or die is a person that sticks with you through thick and thin. Not as soon as something happens, be like, I'll call you back. You text them, they don't text you back. I need some assistance or I need some help. Or may it be financially, may it be word, may it be encouragement, may it be empowerment, may it be something, whatever it is, a cup of sugar. Years ago, it used to be a cup of sugar. Whatever it is, that ride or die is a person that you can depend on in the thick and the thin of things. That person that you can talk to and say, listen, I've never been through this before. I'm not sure how to handle this, but come on, let's Google how we should do it. Let's go to Pinterest and see how we can put it together. That kind of thing. That person that's willing to sit up with you at 2 o'clock in the morning when you have to write a paper and you're like, I don't know how to do it. And you're sitting there talking about, I'm lost for words. Well, they begin to support you and say, come on, you can think, and push you through it and encourage you through it and challenge you to be greater, challenge you to be better. Because the truth of the matter is, you're the best when you're better and someone is helping you become better. So, what else is it that we need in relationships that help us live more, that help us determine if we're going to make it to the next level? We need someone in our lives to challenge us. Someone that's going to say, you know what? Having a high school diploma is not good enough. You can do it. Well, I've never been smart. Well, okay, well then let's find something that you like and let's try to get involved in that. I'm not saying that everyone has to go to college. That would be a wonderful thing. But the truth of the matter is, find someone, your friend's talent, and talk to them about their talent. Go take a personality test and find out what you're good at. And then say to your friend or your girlfriend, your boo, your parent, whatever, and then you start talking about what you're good at. Now, I want to talk about a special type of relationship, and that's parent to child. It seems to me nowadays that parents are having a real hard time speaking to their children. Now, understand me and understand me well. I raised 3 sons, and I was never their friend from the ages of infancy to 21. You're not your kid's friend. You're their parent. They're not supposed to be hanging out with you and your friends and drinking at the bar and all that before 21. You need to be their parent. You need to guide them, direct them. That's what parents do. But there seems to be a group of people or almost a generation of people that parents are trying to be their kids' friends because their parent wasn't their friend. No, there comes a point in that relationship that things do switch. But before they switch, you have to be a parent. How do you expect them to do well in school if you don't train them at home? That's important in that relationship. You have to know your kids. You have to understand that knowing your kids is important and training them before they leave the house. That is your relational expectation before they go on to the next level. What else? The relationship with parent and children. Then they become young adults. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was younger, when my kids were younger, I used to, oh my goodness, if they were like me, oh my God, I'm in trouble. My mother used to say to me, the best payback in the world is to have a child. And I said, what does that mean? I didn't think I was that bad. But the truth of the matter is, because when you have children, children are constant reminders of what they could do and what we did. So we have to train our children. I want to talk about another type of relationship, and that's sibling to sibling. Listen, the world is a hard enough place to live in. You don't need war in your house. You don't need not to get along in your house. You don't need to treat your children any different, because children feel that, and they grow up with complexes. I am not, and I've never allowed this in my house. I do not think it's funny to walk around and call your brother and sister all kinds of names. That's not funny, because when they leave that house, they go into schools, and some children aren't nice. Some children are just as degrading. Some children don't understand different disabilities. So walking around calling your sister, your brother stupid, that's not good. Because they're representing the family just like you are. Sibling rivalry should not be. Some people say it's healthy. I don't think it's healthy, because you know what? When they get to the funeral parlor, when mom or dad dies, they bring up all that old stuff. Well, mom liked you, she liked you more than she liked me. She gave you more than she gave me. And all of that, that's unnecessary. That keeps the division in the family. There is an importance in kingdom families that help us move forward. And relationships are important. How you deal with people, or how people are going to deal with you. Let's talk about girlfriends. Girlfriends are girlfriends. That's a whole statement in itself. So what do I mean by that? It's okay for girlfriends to disagree. And it's okay for girlfriends to check the other girlfriend. If you're walking around and you're not doing things that are appropriate and that are morally correct, then check your girlfriend. Or let her know that she's putting your relationship online. If she's walking around being ratchet, then you need to let her go. Because that's an expression of herself as well as you hanging out with her. So ratchet girlfriends got to go. What other kind of relationship? Father to son. Listen, whoever's watching, sons need their father. Sons need their father. And I say I don't care, but I don't mean it like this. I mean, like, you know what? Don't allow your relationship with the mom to interfere with the relationship with the son. Because a lot of sons are missing out, and I know you may don't turn yet. Let me finish before you, don't disrupt me. Let me say this before you turn the channel. A lot of times, fathers and sons, or fathers and their children, don't get together because of something between them and the mom. And guys, don't use that as an excuse. Build a relationship around that. Your son or your daughter's life is important. You need to be there. You need to be there to teach them how to shave their face. You need to be there, mom, to teach them how to comb their hair. You need to be there. And life is relational. We don't live in a bubble. We don't live in a box. Live long enough and you'll need somebody else. Let's talk about employee to employer relationships. And this is just overall. If you have a boss, and you know you didn't go to school as long as your boss, and you know you're not as intelligent as your boss, and you are not the boss, then you work for that person. So talking about them and disrespecting them and not listening to them and that kind of thing, that is on you. That is not appropriate. That's not protocol. and you have a problem with authority. So that being the case, go back to school, get your education. That's how you prove something. Get your education and become a boss. And be like that song, I'm a boss, I'm a boss. No, I'm only kidding. But listen, it's important that you understand relationships. You can't be nasty to people and expect them to be nice to you and give you a raise. All of that comes into place. Well, they're not supposed to be looking at my attitude. They're supposed to be looking at my job. Well, how in the world are they supposed to look at your job and you come in 15 minutes late every day? That's a character flaw. Attitude every day, character flaw. Come on. You and I know that it's important to be in relationship. So I know it sounds like, what is Rae saying today? The truth of the matter is I want to introduce this subject of relationships and how we can be productive. But before we go off the air today, I want to talk about our relationship with our Creator, the God relationship, the importance of having the person that designed us to have a purpose. What is your relationship today? Are you living empty because you don't have a relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ? I know that's pretty deep because I usually don't go there on shows, but let me just share something with you. To have the fulfillment in life that we need to know that we have a Savior that loves us. And if we don't learn to love ourselves, it is going to be so difficult for us to learn to love one another. You know the song, All We Need Is Love? The truth of the matter is, all we need is love. Some of us have been in horrible, horrific situations. Some of it was by choice and some of it wasn't by choice. But there is someone out here that can help you, empower you, and will celebrate you. Don't throw in the towel yet. There are great people out here, and God will put them in your life. I call them kingdom people. I call them people that are assigned to our lives, that come in, that support us, that love us, that ensure us, that talk to us, that encourage. I'm really very blessed to have great people in my life. And I realize that it is important to know that when you have those people in your life, celebrate them as well. Don't let it be a take situation. It's a give and take situation. You give 100, you take 100. It's not a 50-50 because that's still half persons. It's 100-100. Relationship is about 100-100 to be effective and to be productive. So listen, as we go forward in 2016, let us realize that relationships are important. And if you plan on living more, if you plan on fearing less, and you plan on living on purpose and being purposeful, know that you were designed and created for so much more. It's important that you value those that are around you. And if by chance you have made mistakes, you have stopped communicating, something happened, know that you can make that change. Pick up the phone. Say, I don't remember what happened, but today I want to start again. Will you do that? Will you start again? Will you realize that we need each other? May God bless you. May heaven smile upon you. I hope you take something from this show. Look to see you soon. Bye now.